3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 979. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support it, you can do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So I want to first start off with saying that the number 3, 333, feels like it's really, really, really significant for somebody. I also feel like your intuition is trying to guide you somewhere. It feels like somebody's intuition is being loud right now, or maybe even during this reading it might really resonate with you. The number 3 for me is about self-expression and communication, as well as healing and growing and evolving. It can also be about really getting comfortable with committing to someone or something for a long period of time, investing in something or someone, even if it's yourself, over a long period of time. You could feel really called here to use your voice, whether it's with words or actions or art. I feel that it's important for you, metaphorically or literally, to speak loud, to make how you feel, what you think, what you believe known. It feels like this is about aligning your inner world with your outer world, or being more authentic with who you truly are on the inside, in both your light and your strengths and your darkness and your weaknesses. If you align with your own authenticity, you will attract people who align with who you truly are, and opportunities that align with who you truly are, and you deserve that. You deserve to have a reality rooted in truth. And when I say rooted, specifically, you might have grown up where lying was normal. Even if it wasn't meant to be malicious, it could still be quite damaging. I was also feeling, before I started recording this reading, that your spirit guides in general could be really trying to connect with you at this time, especially because I just looked down at the timer and I literally saw the number 333. But for somebody in particular, more specifically, it could be your ancestors trying to connect with you, especially if it's about like something at home, a family relationship, a partner, your job. Well, it could be about all of those things, honestly, and they're here to encourage you and to support you while you are trying to live a life that is more authentic and true to who you are. And I'm happy for you to be healing and growing in a way that reflects the reality back to you that is true. You know what I mean? It's real, It's kind of hard to put into words. This reading also, I have a feeling it's going to be longer than my typical readings, just because I'm kind of feeling it. But let's go ahead and get into interpreting the number 979. The number 9 is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. If you feel led by a sense of purpose that is connected to using your voice and being more authentic and true, there's confirmation here for that sense of purpose that you feel. I definitely think that the universe very much, or whatever higher power you believe in, very much supports you on this journey. Light forces, light beings, whatever you want to call it. It feels like energetic universe is on your side. Even if it's more about feeling that connection than actually seeing it, Like I said, your intuition could really, really, really be trying to tell you something or guide you somewhere, especially because usually when there's the number 9 in a video and I want to, like the background music that I use, and I want to use one that's related to intuition, or if I want to use one for the number 9, I usually use intuition. I can't remember what the audio is, but I'm pretty sure that it is linked to your third eye chakra as well as your crown chakra, which I find very interesting. Because I was also feeling before I started recording this reading that those chakras could be very important for you. Both your intuition and your consciousness, your awareness, what you already know, is trying to show you something. Maybe there's a light somewhere within or in your reality that is just calling to you. Almost luring you in, but not in a bad kind of way, not like a siren. The number 7 is about, I think the reason why I felt that your intuition and both your crown chakra could be important is because, like I said, the number 9, I linked that to intuition because of purpose. And the number 7, that's about finding deeper meaning. It's about awareness, consciousness, wisdom, crown chakra type of stuff. So this reading is quite interesting so far, to say the least. But let's go ahead and add up these numbers. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be the number 7, because if you haven't seen me say it in a video already, I've been noticing a pattern where if the number is like 979, 868, usually it's the number in the middle, that tends to, be the answer to whenever you add up all of these numbers. So 9 plus 7 is 16, and 16 plus 9 is 25, 2 plus 5 is 7. Yep, there's definitely a pattern here. So I think there's something that you're already aware of, that you already know, and it's really just about trusting yourself, trusting your eyes, whether it's your inner eye, your eye chakra. Maybe there's something significant here about trusting your senses, your instincts. You already know something, and I just feel really, really strongly that it's important that you just really trust yourself, especially if your intentions are pure. I could really be connecting with someone who does have a strong intuition because of how honest you are and how much integrity you do have, how much light you have. When there's less darkness, we can see more. More becomes illuminated, that's for sure. So I do think that you can trust yourself. I'm going to go ahead and move into the cards portion of this reading. I'm going to start off with drawing out a few cards from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot here. We're going to see what else wants to come through for you, maybe something a little more specific than what can be vague sometimes with the numbers. That's funny. I have the Page of Pentacles for the first card. It says, great idea, plan for success, burst of creativity and energy, inspired, and new journey. There could be something here that you're trying that you've never done before. But it does feel like you don't doubt yourself, like you have confidence. when it comes to doing this. I laughed a little bit whenever I saw this card because I accidentally saw it at the bottom of the deck, and then when I was shuffling it flipped itself over, so I was like, okay, this card definitely wants to come out. And with this being a page, this really, really makes me think of your inner child, and makes me think even more that your ancestors are present. You know, really trying to help you heal from something that happened while you were growing up. And, you know, I'm not going to try to get too specific with that because it could literally be anything. You know, we've all been through our own unique things, but also know that there are things that we all have been through that are the same, at least to some degree. And I only mention that so, you know, just in case you feel alone. Yeah, I'm getting strong inner child energy. Let's get another card. Oh, did I mention? Yeah, you have an opportunity here, or a new journey, as this card says. I have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Very interesting. It says work, money, struggles, and I think, oh, karmic gift, unexpected opportunities. Like I said, you have an opportunity just in time. Good luck. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles, this energy so far is very earthy because we have two Pentacles cards to start. This is very much focused on your physical reality, and given this card here, it definitely feels like it could be something related to work or money. Do you have something that you're passionate about that you want to profit off of? Maybe more specifically, somebody wants to be, you know, a card reader or some sort of psychic or something like that, and that could be, doesn't have to be that for everybody. It just generally feels like something that you are passionate about. This is something that you deserve and should be excited about, even if it may take some hard work and some time, some patience, especially if you're trying to start your own business. It will be worth it, it feels like. And it does feel guided, you know. Let's draw out the last card from this deck. I see. We have the Queen of Wands. I was wanting to say the Queen of Cups, which is making me think that somebody is being too hard on themselves, other than the fact that this is the Queen of Wands in reverse. It's about confidence. And when it's in reverse, it's lack of self-confidence because of the Queen of Cups. I feel like there's, you know, there's a sense of coldness that you have towards yourself. This card says, I can't, in quotes, lack of self-confidence, as I said, comparing self to others, potentially. This makes the message of trust yourself feel even more relevant. Not only are you being encouraged to trust yourself, but definitely to believe in yourself. I think it's important to reflect on where this lack of self-confidence comes from. Do you doubt yourself and what you're capable of, or do you doubt what is possible for you? Or both, you know? Do you have any doubts with your faith and the universe working with you, rather than against you? You know, co-creating, that type of thing. I'm really, really feeling that someone here might be feeling some doubts. And you might even be afraid of feeling regret. But I think a really good message here would be, would you rather, let me think how to say this. Would you rather not try and never know, or try and be disappointed knowing that you gave it a shot? You know, it could be helpful to ask yourself, what do I really have to lose if I just try? I just think that being too hard on yourself is a real blockage or barrier here, depending on how hard you are on yourself. But before you jump into anything, it is important that you do have the right mindset. So I would advise that before you start anything, make sure you have the right mindset. Make sure you're believing in yourself, you're trusting yourself, and you're believing in the potential of whatever this opportunity is. And then you ask yourself, like, if I do try, how long do I want to go for? You know? And don't think that it's going to be so set in stone, because you might see some results and you might change your mind, like, oh, I could try this a little bit longer. I just think it's really, really important, whoever's watching this, if you resonate, really, really think about how you feel about yourself and this opportunity, and make sure you have the right mindset about those things. Start telling yourself, I can, instead of I can't, and saying as well that it can happen for me, rather than it can. One thing that I love to say in my readings is, yes, it can be you. The difference is in whether you're willing to try, to be committed, to see it through. So if you're ever feeling doubt, don't give up. Reflect. Understand where it's coming from so you can release it. Or transmute it. Turn it into a different type of energy that can benefit you. I'm going to start finishing up this reading by drawing out 3 more cards. Yeah, I was about to say, like I said, this reading is probably going to be a little bit longer than my usual readings, and is right when I was about to say that, I saw the number 654, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. So I do feel called to have a little bit of a longer reading for a reason. Maybe you need it, maybe it could be helpful. So for the last cards, I'm going to draw from these box of cards, which I just noticed. We have the number 1 here, which is a sign about trusting yourself. The first card, oh, I love this. It says, you are loved. This really makes me think that the universe and your spirit guides are like, hey, even if you might struggle to love yourself at times, we still care about you, and we still care about what you care about. So if you ever need support, if you ever need help, guidance, please ask for it. Yeah, because I think they really do want to help you see this through, and whenever you're struggling to find light in your life, I feel like they want to be the light that you need. Especially if you are curious about cards and doing readings on yourself. I encourage you to explore yourself more when you're feeling doubtful or just negative, and don't see that as a sign to give up, like, immediately. The next card is the 4 of Pentacles. Very interesting, because it's under the 5 of Pentacles. It says, my home life is stable because I have a solid foundation. Remember whenever I said, before you jump into anything, make sure you have the right mindset about yourself and what's possible. This is part of the good foundation. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't trust yourself, or you don't believe that it's possible, or you don't trust that you'll get what you're working towards, it's going to be really hard to stay committed, because why would you keep investing in something and fighting for something that isn't going to go anywhere? You know, like, you might have to give yourself a little bit of logic to help you, stay on track. Let's draw one last card. I have, this is exactly what I'm feeling. And it's very interesting that it's under the Queen of Wands here with the lack of self-confidence. There's song lyrics. I think the song is called Exerces by Deftones. You have the number 38. It says, I don't know. I could stay or leave. A wavering sense of commitment. Don't start until you feel ready. And I just saw the number 33 on the timer. Don't start until you feel ready. If you still feel doubt, give yourself more time to think about it. I'm trying to move this light so it's not, putting a reflection on anything, but also, I don't want this to slide and fall over, I think that's good enough. I'm just really feeling that you do have an opportunity and you haven't started it yet and you don't feel ready, and that's okay. But not feeling ready doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It just means you're not ready and you don't have the right mindset. And you have an opportunity now to put yourself in that right mindset, to learn how to believe in yourself more, trust yourself more, believe in the universe and trust the universe more. Like I said in the beginning, I just really feel like your intuition is trying to guide you somewhere or tell you something, but I'm just feeling here that fear is making it harder to see how possible something truly is for you. And this could, honestly, I feel like it mostly comes from a low self-esteem. So before you get started or do anything, or even if you have already started, you just need to take a step back. How can you love yourself more? How can you appreciate who you are more? In the beginning, we were talking all about who you are. I think now is a time to focus on your strengths, what you do know about yourself. What do you know that you are good at? Like, I'm going to be a little vulnerable for you right now, okay? So, for my business, I'm not even going to lie. It does make me a little bit nervous. But it's also, like, because of my experience and how much I've practiced outside of even, like, formal, I guess you could call it, type of experience, I've had really good results. But still, there's some part of me that's like, I'm kind of scared. I don't want to, leave anyone with a bad experience. I mean, you can't please everybody, let's be real. But you're not alone. It can be hard to believe in yourself and to trust yourself. Like, deep down, it might be easy, but, like, I guess more on the surface, or with less depth, it can be easier to doubt ourselves. And I think it's interesting that I said with less depth, because it's like, how much do you really doubt yourself? Like, do you really doubt yourself, or are you just afraid of being disappointed? Or are you afraid of disappointing someone else? And, I think what might really help is just knowing that you're not going to please yourself all the time. You're not going to please other people all the time. It's part of the journey. And I'm remembering, it says new journey. You're going to have ups and downs. And I think what just matters the most is that you figure out how to look up again. How to stay positive. And how to learn from mistakes and stuff. I want to finish up this reading by talking about the numbers on the cards. So You Are Loved has the number 2. Well, 20, but 2 plus 0 is 2. And I feel that number, like, emotionally, you might be feeling a little unstable. And I feel like it could be coming from, I do want to comment, I did burp whenever I said that. And that's a sign of release. So emotionally, I do think that there is something here that you need to release that feeds the self-doubt, that doesn't feel fair to you to keep holding on to. Or even rooted in truth and reality, The 4 of Pentacles, number 4 is about peace and stability, and your ancestors. That's confirmation of your ancestors being present with you and really wanting you to have a career, if this is what this is about, that you're actually passionate about, because you deserve to spend your time, your energy, and your focus on something that actually means something to you. And I guess that's what makes the hard work all the more worth it. Would you rather work hard about something you're passionate about, or would you rather work hard just to get a paycheck? Come on. We have the number 5 with the 5 of Pentacles, which is about change and transformation. This feels like it's connected to the number 2. It feels like there's an opportunity for you to transform internally through releasing something emotionally. And 3 plus 8 with the number 38 there. I have the number 11. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So confirmation there. Yes, there's something here weighing on you emotionally. Before you get started, if you need to take a step back, let yourself process something and release the lies that you're telling yourself. Whether it's about what you're capable of or what's possible for you, be honest. because you deserve that. You deserve to be honest enough to keep the faith, to stay committed to what you're passionate about.